Tonight we're going to start the next surah in Juz' Amma in the Tafsir of An-Nasafiyy. The next surah is called Suratun Nazi'at. Suratun Nazi'at. And Nazi'at, it's named after that first thing that's mentioned in the surah, as you're going to see. وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا. You'll see what Nazi'at means. وَهِيَ سِتٌّ وَأَرْبَعُونَ آيَةً. This Quranic chapter is composed of 46 verses. Makkiyah, and it was revealed in Mecca. So the author says, starting with the saying of Allah, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والنازعات غرقا والناشطات نشطا والسابحات سبحا فالسابقات سبقا فالمدبرات أمرا والنازعات غرقا. Allah swears, as if he's saying, I swear. That's this wow here. That's called wawul qasam. One nazi'ati. I swear by the nazi'at. Like, don't you say, wallahi. I swear by Allah. That's a swearing. That wow there, that doesn't mean and. That's for swearing. So, one nazi'ati gharqa. I swear by the nazi'at. Allah Ta'ala aqsama subhanahu bitawa'ifil malaika. In this verse, Allah swears by a group of angels, النازعات, التي تنزع الأرواح من الأجساد غرقا. Those angels who extract the soul, they pull out the soul, or they withdraw the soul from the souls, from the bodies. غرقا أي إغراقا في النزع أي تنزيعها من أقاصي الأجساد من أناملها ومواضع أظفارها. They pull those souls, the angels pull the souls out of the bodies from every extremity of the body, from every part of the body down to the fingertips and the fingernails. Because the soul is merged with all of the body. So when the soul gets pulled out of the body, it rips away from all of the body. So the angels, when they pull the soul out, they are extracting, pulling that soul from all extremities of the body. وبالطوائف التي تنشطها أي تخرجها. The nashitat means those angels who pull out the soul. من نشط الدلو من البئر إذا أخرجها. Those angels who pull the soul out. In some tafsirs here, it doesn't say here in this one. In some tafsirs, they said this one means the angels who slip the souls out. So the first one, وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا. By the nazi'at, this is Allah swearing by the angels who rip the soul out, who forcefully yank the soul out of some of the slaves of Allah when they die, those who didn't believe. وَالنَّاشِطَاتِ نَشْطًا. And he swears by those angels who slip the soul out, who gently slip the soul out. That's going to be those angels who are being merciful to the believers by pulling their souls out easily, When I say they pulled it out easily, though, doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It hurts either way. Whether the soul got yanked out violently or the soul got pulled out gently, it's going to hurt. But that's why they pull it out gently for the believers, because it hurts. So they are just pulling that soul out smoothly for that believer, as opposed to what they did for the other one when they forcefully ripped his soul out. وَالسَّابِحَاتِ سَبْحًا. And Allah swears by the sabihat, وَبِالطَّوَائِفِ الَّتِي تَسْبَحُ فِي مُضِيِّهَا أي تسرع فتسبق إلى ما أمروا به. Those are the angels who are flying and gliding back and forth. He swears by the flying, gliding angels going back and forth doing their errands. فَالسَّابِقَاتِ سَبْقًا. Those are the angels who rush to do what they were commanded to do. فَالْمُدَبِّرَاتِ أَمْرًا. And thereby they manage affairs. فَتُدَبِّرُ أَمْرًا مِنْ أُمُورِ الْعِبَادِ مِمَّا يُصْلِحُهُمْ فِي دِينِهِمْ أَوْ دُنْيَاهُمْ كَمَا رُسِمَ لَهُمْ. And so those angels are managing affairs for the humans, things that are in the humans' welfare, in their religious welfare, and in their worldly welfare. Those angels are taking care of those matters in accordance with whatever commands they were given. So that's these first verses of Surat An-Nazi'at. Allah swears by the angels. So these first ayahs here, وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا. Allah swears by the angels who rip out the soul violently. وَالنَّاشِطَاتِ نَشْطًا. And he swears by the angels who slip out the souls easily, yani mercifully. وَالسَّابِحَاتِ سَبْحًا. And he swears by angels who are gliding back and forth. فَالسَّابِقَاتِ سَبْقًا. And those angels who are gliding back and forth, they rush to whatever they have been commanded to do. فَالْمُدَبِّرَاتِ أَمْرًا. And those angels who glide back and forth and they rush to do whatever it was they were commanded to do, they administer tasks, they manage affairs. And then here Imam An-Nasafiyy, he offers some alternative interpretations for these first verses here, that it's possible, according to him, that these, the Nazi'at and the Nashitat and the Sabihat, etc., that these refer to war horses, war horses. How would that be? What would that mean then, Allah swearing by war horses? So that part there, I'm not going to read that. I'm going to skip these few lines here where he gives alternative explanation for these verses, that these are not angels, these words, they are referring to war horses with different qualities who do different things. I'll skip this talk though here. And it was said that those are stars. And also that talk, we're going to skip it. So what we're going to stick to for now is that these first 5 verses of this surah are referring to angels. Allah swears by angels. وَجَوَابُ الْقَسَمِ مَحْذُوفٌ. And the matter being sworn about is omitted. It's not mentioned here, because whenever you swear by something, you must be also swearing about something. So when you say, I swear to God, It means what are you swearing about? So maybe you're saying, I swear to God, I'll never talk to him again. Or I swear to God, something else. So what's being sworn here? Firstly, who's the swearer? Allah. God is the swearer here. He swears by whatever he wills. In these verses, he swears by angels of his. What's being sworn about? وَجَوَابُ الْقَسَمِ مَحْذُوفٌ. What's being sworn about is omitted. Imagine that you said, I swear to God, and then you just stopped. And you didn't say what you were swearing about. So, but there is something you're swearing about, and you just didn't mention it. So it's not mentioned. What is it? وَهُوَ لَتُبْعَثُنَّ. You will certainly be resurrected, is what's being sworn about. So then it's like it's saying, I swear by the angels who violently rip out the souls, and I swear by the angels who gently, mercifully slip out the souls, and I swear by the angels who glide back and forth, those who rush to their jobs and administer tasks. You will most certainly be resurrected. What proves that this is what is being sworn about? That which comes next, that which is coming. The following verses of the Quran prove what's being sworn about. Min dhikri al-qiyamah. These verses that are coming that talk about Judgment Day. يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الرَّاجِفَةُ. The day when the earth-quaking horn blast is sounded. يوم ترجف تتحرك حركة شديدة والرجف شدة الحركة. The day when the earth will quake severely. يوم ترجف الراجفة. So the day when the rajifa tarjuf. So it's like saying the day when the severe, yani, it's really not easy to translate it like that, the way it is. So the meaning is the day when the horn of the angel, that horn, which when the angel blows into that horn, the blast of this horn is so powerful that it makes the earth quake, all of the earth. That day, يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الرَّاجِفَةُ, the day when the earthquaking horn blast is sounded. النَّفْخَةُ الْأُولَى, and that's in reference to the first blow of the horn. Because there are two horn blasts, as you know. We're going to mention the second one. وُصِفَتْ بِمَا يَحْدُثُ بِحُدُوثِهَا. In this verse, the blast of this horn has been named after that which happens because of it. What happens because of this horn blast? The quaking of the entire earth. Not just the quaking, though. Yani, really, what happens? The earth and heavens will shatter, all of it. All the earth and all the skies will shatter into pieces when the angel blows into that horn. He blows his horn, and then the earth will quake, the mountains will quake, everything will shake and break until the whole earth shatters. And all of the heavens shatter from this horn blast. So, because of this quaking, this the shaking that happens from this horn blast, it was named the Rajifa, the Quaker, or something like that. يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الرَّاجِفَةُ, the day when the earthquaking horn blast is sounded. لِأَنَّهَا تَضْطَرِبُ بِهَا الْأَرْض, because by that horn blast, all of the earth will quiver. حتى يموت كل من عليها, until everyone upon the surface of the earth dies. Yani, every human and every genie will die when that horn is sounded. When those who are alive hear that horn blast, so that's the end of the world, when there are still humans left, the very last day of the world, and there are still some humans left on the earth and genies left, and then the angel blows the horn. When they hear that, when the people hear that, their hearts will burst in their chests. All the humans will die, all the angels will die, all the jinn will die, all the animals will die, and the earth will shatter, and the heavens will shatter. تَتْبَعُهَا الرَّادِفَةُ. Following that earthquaking horn blast is a follow-up, another one, another horn blast. So تَتْبَعُهَا حَالٌ مِنَ الرَّاجِفَةِ. Following it, that's hal. So you're used to this now. When I say hal, means what? Adverb. When we say adverb, means what? Means what? Means while. Adverb. This the meaning of the adverb. So that's baruha, following, meaning while there follows it. Following it is aradifa, the follow-up, and nafkhatu thaniya, the second horn blast. لأنها ترتف الأولى. It's called radifa because it comes behind the first one. Like if you were riding a horse and then someone was riding behind you. That one who's riding behind you, he's ridif. So this horn blast is the ridif, comes after the first one. وَبَيْنَهُمَا أَرْبَعُونَ سَنَةً. Between these two horn blasts, there shall be 40 years. وَالْأُولَى تُمِيتُ الْخَلْقِ. The first horn blast puts all creations to death. وَالثَّانِيَةُ تُحْيِيهِمْ. And the second horn blast revives them. It wakes them or quickens them. And in between those two, there's 40 years in which all of every heavens and earth just remain shattered as they were. The first blast will break them into pieces and they stay broken. And then Allah will resurrect the angel. He will recreate the earth, resurrect the angel who blows the horn. And then the angel will blow the horn a second time. And then the people will come out of their graves. And just to remind you, so Angel Jibreel, didn't Angel Jibreel alayhi salam, sometimes he came down to some people and screamed at them, and by his scream, he exterminated them? Just his own scream without a horn. He would come down and then scream at some people. He screamed at them and made the ground shake beneath their feet, and their hearts would rip in their chests, and they would die. They could die upon their knees from the scream of the angel. So that's just the scream only without an instrument that amplifies that scream. If that's the scream of the angel, then what do you think would be the horn blast of an angel? قُلُوبٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ وَاجِفَةٌ. Hearts on that day that are pounding. قُلُوبُ مُنْكِرِ الْبَعْثِ. Whose hearts shall be pounding on that day? Those will be the hearts of the people who denied that day. Those people who denied the resurrection, when they come back to life, their hearts will be pounding. مضطربة, يعني pounding. من الوجيف وهو الوجيب. وانتصاب يوم ترجف بما دل عليه قلوب يومئذ واجفة أي يوم ترجف وجفت القلوب. So all what he said now, I said it in the translation. وارتفاع قلوب بالابتداء وجيفة صفتها أبصارها خاشعة. Their visions. Now, very literally, who's they? أبصارها ha their visions. So that's going back to the hearts. The visions of those hearts. But what's meant here, not the hearts that are seeing, it's the people who have the hearts. The people who have the hearts in the first place, it's their visions that shall be khashi'ah, dalila, humbled, lihawli ma tara, because of the horror of what they behold. So, قلوب يومئذ واجفة, hearts on that day that are pounding. أبصارها خاشعة, their visions humbled. يقولون أئنا لمردودون في الحافرة. They say, those who denied resurrection, in this lifetime, they say, out of making fun, a منكر البعث في الدنيا استهزاء وإنكارا للبعث. Those who deny resurrection in this lifetime, out of making fun and out of denial of resurrection, they say, إِنَّا لَمَرْدُودُونَ فِي الْحَافِرَةِ. Shall we indeed certainly come back like we were? Istifhamun bima'na al-inkar. So that's their question. It's a question, but it's not posed for the answer so that you say yes and then they believe you. Rather, it's posed to deny it altogether. Meaning they say, shall we be returned? Shall we come back after our deaths? Ila awwalil amr. Shall we return back to the way we were? فَنَعُودُ أَحْيَاءً كَمَا كُنَّا, and become alive again. وَالْحَافِرَةُ الْحَالَةُ الْأُولَى. The hafirah that's mentioned in the ayah means the original situation, the first situation. أَإِنَّا لَمَرْدُودُونَ فِي الْحَافِرَةِ. Are we certainly going to come back to the first situation? Meaning, shall we come back to life? يُقَالُ لِمَنْ كَانَ فِي أَمْرٍ. So it is said about someone who was involved in something, فَخَرَجَ مِنْهُ, and then he got out of it, ثُمَّ عَادَ إِلَيْهِ, and then he came back to it. What would you say? You could say in Arabic, رَجَعَ إِلَى حَافِرَتِهِ. He went back to his hafirah, أي إلى حالته الأولى, meaning back to his first situation. So that's the meaning. أَإِنَّا لَمَرْدُودُونَ فِي الْحَافِرَةِ. Shall we come back to the hafirah, the original situation? Shall we come back to life indeed? ويقال النقد عند الحافرة أي عند الحالة الأولى وهي الصفقة. I have fatha here, safaqa. I think it's safqa though. And this sentence anyway, I'm not sure how to translate that, but that's fine. It's just more example of what hafira means in the language. We've covered that, so that's fine. Ankarul ba'tha. So those people, they denied resurrection. ثم زادوا استبعادا. And then they said more to express how far-fetched they saw resurrection to be. فقالوا, and so they said, أَإِذَا كُنَّا عِظَامًا نَخِرَةً, is it that we shall come back to life after we were decayed bones? Balia, decayed. نَاخِرَةً كُوفِيٌّ غَيْرُ حَفْصٍ. And also this verse was revealed, it was recited as Nakhira with an alif there. The way we recited it was Nakhira. Yani, the Prophet recited both ways. It's clear for you when we say you can recite it this way and you can recite it that way. That means that's how the Prophet recited them. That's how we know the recitations of the Quran. وَفَاعِلٌ أَبْلَغُ مِنْ فَاعِلٍ. And this form of the word nakhira, without the extension, it has in it an emphasis that the other way of reciting doesn't have. When you say nakhira with an alif, we actually talked about that. We talked about that last time when we were talking about the ayah in the previous Quranic chapter, when Allah says, لَابِثِينَ فِيهَا أَحْقَابًا, they shall dwell there for endless ages. You remember we said you can recite it labithin with an extension, and you can recite it labithin without an extension. And we said labithin without an extension, it's stronger because it has more meaning of being perpetual. So if you remember that, this is the same thing we're saying here. Nakhira without an extension, it's stronger here. With the meaning, in other words, what's the difference? Nakhira, the decayed bones, like saying, the one who's saying that, it's like he's saying they're decayed and they won't stop being decayed. That's how they are, and that's how they're going to stay. So we're going to come back after our bones are permanently decayed. It's like that's what they're saying. أَإِذَا كُنَّا عِظَامًا نَخِرَةً, will we come back after our bones have been permanently decayed? But if you recite it nakhira, it doesn't have the same meaning of permanence. It still means, though, that they're saying, will we come back after our bones have decayed? يقال نخر العظم فهو نخر وناخر. So that's fine. What I just read here in Arabic, I pretty much covered it in the English. والمعنى أن نرد إلى الحياة بعد أن صرنا عظاما بالية. And so the meaning is that they say, shall we be returned to life after we became decayed bones? وإذا منصوب بمحذوف وهو نبعث. I covered that in the translation already. قالوا تلك إذا كرة خاسرة. They say, those who deny resurrection, that return to life then would be a losing return. That return to life then would be a losing return. That means they're being sarcastic. Like if you weren't scared of someone, you said, "Oh, shiver me timbers! I'm so scared. I'm about to get beaten." So that's a way of expressing that you don't believe it. So that's what they were saying. قالوا تلك إذا كرة خاسرة. They said, then that return to life will be a losing one for us because we don't believe in it, and then we're going to get punished. رجعة ذات خسران. Oh, خاسر أصحابها. So that means all what I already said. والمعنى أنها إن صحت وبعثنا فنحن إذا خاسرون لتكذيبنا بها. And so the meaning of this verse is that they are saying, if this resurrection is true, and we shall be indeed brought back to life, then we will be losers because we disbelieve in it. وَهَذَا اسْتِهْزَاءٌ مِّنْهُمْ. This is disrespect from them. فَإِنَّمَا هِيَ زَجْرَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ. But merely it, that horn blast, it will be one blast, one zajra. Zajra. So at the end of the day, the zajra here means the horn blast. But zajra, it means like something that startles them. And so the meaning here is don't reckon that this return to life is something difficult for God to do. Azza wa Jal, the Almighty and Great, فَإِنَّهَا سَهْلَةٌ هَيِّنَةٌ فِي قُدْرَتِهِ. Indeed, it is something very easy in His power. فَمَا هِيَ إِلَّا صَيْحَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ. And so it shall not be but a single blast. يُرِيدُ النَّفْخَةَ الثَّانِيَةَ. This refers to the second blast. من زجر البعير إذا صاح عليه. And what's mentioned in the ayah here, the zajra, like I said, here he's just really saying what I already said. You could say in Arabic, zajar al-ba'ir. If he shouted at the camel, if the camel man shouted at his camel, you could say zajara. Yani he shouted at his camel. So that's just to give you an idea in the language. فَإِنَّمَا هِيَ زَجِرَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ. It shall be a single zajra, which is the horn blast. فَإِذَا هُمْ بِالسَّاهِرَةِ. And behold, they shall be upon the surface of the earth. فَإِذَا هُمْ أَحْيَاء. Behold, they shall be alive. عَلَى وَجْهِ الْأَرْضِ. Upon the surface of the earth. بَعْدَمَا كَانُوا أَمْوَاتًا فِي جَوْفِهَا. After being dead within the belly of the earth, meaning they were buried in the earth, they were down in the earth, and then they will come out of there and be alive, standing on earth, on the surface of the earth. وَقِيلَ السَّاهِرَةُ أَرْضٌ بِعَيْنِهَا. And it was said, the Sahira, فَإِذَا هُمْ بِالسَّاهِرَةِ. Then behold, they will be at the Sahira. It was said the Sahira here, it means a land in particular. الشام إلى جنب بيت المقدس أو أرض مكة أو جهنم. That could be, the Sahira could be the Levant, close to the mountain of Jerusalem, or it could be the land of Mecca, or could be hell. What we learned is the people will be resurrected, they will come out of their graves, they will be all the people, all the human beings from the time of Adam until the end of the world. Every single human being will be in attendance in one place. And it was said that place will be Asham, the Levant, all the humans. The Levant, that's the area of Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, Jordan, and some of Turkey. And we shall see anyway. For sure, on Judgment Day, we shall all come back to life. Every single human who ever lived will be in attendance. Allah says in another ayah, وَالْتَفَّتِ السَّاقُ بِالسَّاقُ. On that day, the shins, the leg, that leg bone, the shins will be mixed together. That gives you an image of how crowded it will be on Judgment Day. Now, these next verses that are coming are going to tell some of the story of Moses, alayhi salatu wassalam. Let's see if we can cover that. I think it's going to get cut off, though. Or should I stop here? Tell me, should I stop here and start this story of Moses next week from the top? Or should I try to squeeze it in for the next 7 minutes? What say you? Stop here, someone says. Stop, another one says. Okay. So we'll stop there then, insha'Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Do you have any question that I can answer for you? Looks like we have some lower numbers today. People are maybe not as interested in the tafsir as they started out. I hope not. Maybe they're just busy. Oh, that's right. Today is what you call it, right? Are they playing right now? Super Bowl?
I know my mom said something about being there until.
Yeah, the people are busy now. طيب.
Sheikh,
Yes.
I just had a question.
Yes.
In the last tafsir we took, this is just it's about a hadith that it says in the hadith, the one who
Yes.
swears by other than Allah. You saw the hadith, correct?
Did I say it? Yeah, and it was in what we were reading.
No, not today. Not today.
No. I mean, I know. Last time there was a hadith in what we were reading about that.
In the last tafsir class. The last tafsir class.
That's what I know.
If a person says to us, for example, because I encountered a person, a Wahhabi, who says that swearing other than Allah is kufr, and I told him that what we learned, that Ahmed said that and Shafi'i said that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you respond to that? Like, is there a ta'wil to that hadith? Like, how does...
If someone swears by other than Allah, glorifying that thing as he glorifies Allah.
No.
What if someone said, for example, I swear to Jesus? And that's shirk because he's putting Jesus like he's God. If someone said, I swear to Buddha, and he's putting Buddha like he's God, so that's going to be kufr. It's blasphemy. But if someone says, I swear by my grandmother, and he's not worshiping his grandmother, that's not kufr.
Correct. Like,
that's
so just, I'm just going to explain it like that, correct?
Yeah, and then you give him what Shafi'i said and what Ahmed said. That should be enough.
Okay. Like, barakallahu feek.
I mean, Wafiq.
Sheikh, I'm lost because I never heard that before. What does Shafi'i say?
According to a Shafi'i, swearing, he said about swearing by other than Allah, I fear that it's haram. He said, I'm afraid it's haram. So that means, according to a Shafi'i, that it's makruh. He didn't definitively deem it haram. So, as if for a Shafi'i, it's on the verge of being haram. So that means it's not haram. It's makruh, disliked according to a Shafi'i, but haram according to Imam Ahmed. Very disliked according to a Shafi'i, not a little bit, very disliked.
So Imam Ahmed said it's haram?
Haram, yes.
Oh,
but not kufr, not blasphemy.
But it's haram.
Yeah, haram.
Okay. MashaAllah, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's for the creations, of course. Allah swears by whatever He wills. So Allah swears by angels, like we just saw, and He swears by other things. Wal Asr, He swore by the sun. Wal Shamsi, He swore by the moon. Wal Qamari, etc. And just to remind you also, what's the point of swearing? That has some more than one goal or function. One thing you want to do by swearing is to establish your truthfulness. That's why they make people swear in court. They make them swear. Do you swear? Yes, I swear, for example. So that's to swear, to establish your truthfulness. And sometimes you swear to bind yourself. So you say, I swear to God I will, or I swear to God I won't. So then you're binding yourself to something. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Question. What is the judgment if someone swore to God to do something or not to do something and he didn't keep his promise? Then it's not haram for him to break his swear, but then he's going to have to fulfill an expiation, which I'm not going to go into that now. So you can break your swear. If you swear to do something or not do something, then either you have an option. Either you do what you swore or you break your swear and fulfill an expiation, which I'm not going to talk about now. I need to review anyway. He said, so we shouldn't swear by those things, the sun, the moon, etc., quoting the Quran. No, we shouldn't, because it's not permissible, according to Ahmed, it's not permissible for us to swear by other than Allah. In the Quran, Allah swears by those things. That's the speech of God. He's the one saying what means, I swear by the sun, I swear by the moon, I swear by the angels, I swear by time, etc. As for us, we will only say, I swear by God. Or we can use any name of God. You can say, I swear by the Lord. Or you can swear by an attribute of God. You can say, I swear by the power of God. That's permissible too. What's the religious definition of swearing? Let me review, inshallah ta'ala. Alhamdulillah. طيب. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك